What happens when the truth gets tangled up in lies? Well, in the courtroom, things get heated. Pam Bondi, a seasoned legal expert, steps up to challenge AOC's deceitful defense. With every move, Bondi slowly reveals cracks in AOC's story, setting the stage for the new charges AOC is about to face. We all know the feeling of being caught in a lie, but imagine if the stakes were this high. A mistake in a courtroom can change everything. Pam Bondi, known for her sharp legal mind, isn't backing down. AOC, the young and outspoken politician, now finds herself facing serious consequences. What happens next could shake up everything we know about politics and justice. Stay tuned, because this story is far from over. The courtroom is electric with tension. The room is filled with onlookers, reporters frantically taking notes, and the atmosphere is thick with anticipation. Everyone knows something big is about to unfold. On one side stands AOC, her usual confidence on full display. On the other, Pam Bondi, a legal powerhouse, ready to take on the young politician's deceitful defense. It feels like a scene right out of a movie. The stakes are high. This is not just a courtroom. It's a battle over truth and justice, with the nation watching closely. AOC, known for her bold stance on issues and her fiery speeches, is now under fire. Her defense strategy seems to be unraveling, and it's raising serious questions. Is she bending the truth to save herself? Or is it just a huge misunderstanding? Her defenders argue it's all politics, but others are starting to see cracks in her story. The courtroom whispers grow louder. Pam Bondi, with years of legal experience and a reputation for taking on the toughest cases, isn't letting AOC's defense slide. She's here to make sure the truth is brought to light, no matter the cost. Bondi's determination is clear. She's facing off against someone who's used to being in the spotlight, and she's not backing down. Just like many of us, Bondi knows that sometimes doing the right thing means facing off with powerful opponents. It's not easy, but it's necessary. She's ready for whatever comes next, and she's prepared to shut down every lie AOC tries to spin. The room is silent, all eyes on Bondi as she begins her cross-examination. This is more than a legal battle, it's a test of integrity. Pam Bondi's strategy in the courtroom is like watching someone patiently unravel a tangled web of lies. You know how sometimes people try to talk their way out of trouble by using clever but misleading excuses? Maybe they twist the facts just enough to make their version seem believable. It's frustrating because we all know they are playing games with the truth. That's exactly what AOC is trying to do. She's using half-truths and misdirection, trying to make her defense sound convincing. But Pam Bondi, seasoned and focused, is not falling for it. Bondi takes a calm, methodical approach, examining each part of AOC's defense with a sharp eye. She doesn't rush, doesn't get emotional. She simply breaks down each of AOC's arguments step by step, exposing the flaws in her reasoning. Like a detective piecing together a puzzle, Bondi starts to show the holes in AOC's story, and the room begins to shift. The audience can feel the tension building. As the case progresses, it becomes more and more clear that AOC's defense is based on shaky ground. It's like when you're caught trying to cover up a mistake, and no matter how hard you try, the truth just has a way of breaking through. We've all been there at some point, haven't we? Maybe you've tried to explain away something you did, only to have the real facts come crashing in, revealing the truth for everyone to see. That's exactly what's happening to AOC. She thought she could get away with bending the truth, but Bondi is about to deliver a knockout blow. In a moment that feels like it's straight out of a courtroom drama, Bondi presents irrefutable evidence, proof that AOC's statements don't hold up under scrutiny. It's a moment of pure clarity. AOC's defense, once strong and confident, starts to crumble. The evidence is undeniable, and the room falls silent. AOC, who had been so sure of herself, now finds her argument falling apart, piece by piece. It's like watching someone who's built their house on sand suddenly see it all washed away by the tide. The audience in the courtroom reacts instantly. Gasps ripple through the room. People shift uncomfortably in their seats, some shaking their heads, others exchanging quick glances. There's a palpable sense of disbelief, as if they can't quite believe what they're hearing. It's like being in a room where everyone thought one person was telling the truth, only to find out that the entire story was built on a lie. The reporters in the back are furiously typing, trying to capture every word, while the onlookers are glued to the drama unfolding before them. Bondi's calm, controlled demeanor is almost unnerving in the face of such a powerful moment. But it's not just the audience in the courtroom who are reacting. Outside the courtroom, people are beginning to take notice. The media is buzzing with reports of Bondi's devastating counterattack. Social media lights up with reactions, some in shock, others praising Bondi for exposing the truth. It's a turning point in the case, and everyone knows it. The tides have shifted, and the game has changed. As the tension in the courtroom rises, it becomes clear that Bondi is in control. She has expertly guided the case to this pivotal moment, and now, AOC's defense is on the ropes. There's no easy way out for her. The weight of Bondi's evidence is too heavy, and the truth is too clear. What started as a confident defense by AOC is now slowly crumbling under the weight of the facts. It's a dramatic shift in momentum, and the courtroom feels like it's on the edge of something monumental. For Bondi, this is what she does best. She's no stranger to high-stakes legal battles, and here she is, calmly dismantling a defense that many thought would hold up. It's a testament to her experience and sharp legal mind. But for AOC, this is a wake-up call. The lies she thought she could get away with have now come to light, and there's no hiding from the truth. It's a reminder that, no matter how clever the story, the truth has a way of finding its way to the surface. And in this courtroom, the truth is finally being revealed. The courtroom drama may have reached its peak, but the story does not end there. AOC now faces new charges, ones that carry even more severe consequences. These charges are serious, and they add a layer of complexity to an already tense situation. To put it simply, AOC is being accused of misleading the public, intentionally bending the truth in ways that could have influenced her political decisions and actions. These new charges go beyond the courtroom battle and point to a larger question. How much of what AOC has been saying and doing has been based on deception, and what does that mean for her future? These charges involve allegations of misconduct related to her defense tactics. She is now accused of misrepresenting facts, not just in the case at hand, but in her broader political career. It's as though the pieces of a puzzle, which once seemed to fit neatly together, are now scattered, revealing a much messier picture. The public is now questioning whether AOC's actions were the result of poor judgment or deliberate attempts to mislead and manipulate. These charges are not just about one case. They paint a larger picture of possible dishonesty in her dealings with the public and her political allies. In simple terms, AOC is facing accusations that challenge the very foundation of her credibility. How is AOC reacting to these new charges? At first glance, she seems defensive. She is pushing back hard, denying any wrongdoing and attempting to explain her side of the story. AOC claims that these charges are politically motivated, that she's being unfairly targeted. It's a familiar defense for those caught in similar situations, and it's one that many of us can relate to. We've all been there, trying to defend ourselves when we know we've made a mistake, trying to justify our actions even if the evidence seems stacked against us. But AOC's response also reveals something deeper. It shows the pressure she's under and the difficulty of facing consequences when the stakes are so high. It's clear she's not ready to admit any fault, but can she truly bounce back from all of this? That remains to be seen. The public's reaction to these new charges is a mix of shock, disbelief, and disappointment. AOC has built a reputation as someone who speaks truth to power, someone who stands up for the people. But now, people are starting to question everything. It's like when someone you've always admired is caught doing something wrong, and suddenly, all of their past actions come under a harsh spotlight. You start to wonder whether anything they've said or done was genuine. That's the feeling many people are experiencing now when it comes to AOC. What once seemed like a political crusade for justice now feels tainted by these accusations. In the media, the story is everywhere. News outlets are covering the charges in depth, with some painting AOC as a victim of political warfare, while others are focusing on the severity of the allegations. Social media is ablaze, with mixed reactions pouring in from all sides. Some people are standing by her, claiming that these charges are just an attack on her political career. Others are taking a more critical stance, questioning her integrity and demanding answers. It's a public relations nightmare for AOC, one that could have lasting consequences for her future. The public's trust in AOC has undoubtedly been shaken. Whether she can recover from this fallout depends on how she handles the next steps. Can she repair the damage done to her reputation? Will the public see her as someone who made a mistake and is trying to make things right? Or will they view her as someone who is just trying to cover up the truth? Only time will tell, but one thing is clear. AOC is at a crossroads. The path she chooses next could determine her future, both in the courtroom and in the public eye. The media and the public may be unforgiving, but in the end, it's up to AOC to decide how she will face the consequences of her actions. Will she learn from this experience and rebuild her credibility? Or will she continue down a path of denial and defensiveness? It's a tough situation to be in, one that many people can empathize with. But the stakes are high, and AOC's response to these new charges will define the next chapter of her political career. This trial has become more than just a legal battle for AOC. It's a symbol of something much bigger. It represents the ongoing struggle between truth and deception in the world of politics. At its core, it's about the integrity of those in power and whether they can be held accountable for their actions. The courtroom drama isn't simply about one person's fate. It's a reflection of the broader political climate, where trust, transparency, and honesty are constantly called into question. The stakes have grown higher as the public watches closely, wondering if the truth will prevail or if political maneuvering will continue to undermine the system. This trial, in many ways, mirrors the everyday struggles people face with honesty and integrity. We all encounter situations where telling the truth seems difficult, where bending the facts to avoid trouble can seem like an easier path. But like in AOC's case, those choices can have lasting consequences. Whether it's in our personal relationships, in the workplace, or in politics, the challenge of staying truthful can be overwhelming. However, what this trial teaches us is the importance of standing firm on the side of truth, no matter the cost. AOC's actions, regardless of whether they were intentional or not, have set off a chain of events that forces us to reflect on our own behavior. Are we willing to sacrifice honesty for convenience? Or are we prepared to face the consequences of our actions? A major part of this story is Pam Bondi's role in holding AOC accountable. Bondi's strategy and approach in this case highlight an essential truth about our legal system. It's not always perfect, but it's necessary. Legal accountability, especially in politics, is crucial to ensuring that those who hold power are held to the same standards as the rest of us. Bondi has served as a reminder that the law is not just about punishing the guilty. It's about ensuring fairness and justice for everyone. Just like in our own lives, where rules and guidelines help maintain order, the legal system serves as a tool to prevent corruption and deceit. While it may have its flaws, Bondi's role in this case underscores how vital it is for the legal system to function as a check on power. The consequences of this trial extend far beyond AOC's personal future. The impact it has on public trust is profound. When public figures fail to live up to their promises or appear to be dishonest, it erodes the trust we place in them. People start to question whether their leaders can truly be relied upon to do what's best for the country or the people they represent. It's like when someone you looked up to does something that feels wrong. It shakes the foundation of trust and makes you wonder if you've been misled all along. For many, this trial could be a turning point in how they view politicians and their motivations. If AOC, a prominent figure, can be caught in a scandal like this, what does that say about the rest of the political system? Will this be seen as an isolated incident, or is it a sign of a deeper issue within politics as a whole? As the trial unfolds, it has the potential to reshape how we perceive political leaders and their roles in society. If AOC is found guilty, it could lead to a greater sense of skepticism about the promises made by other politicians. On the other hand, if she is cleared, it may reinforce the idea that sometimes politics can be a battlefield of misinformation, where truth is often the first casualty. Either way, this case is a stark reminder of the importance of accountability and transparency in politics. It serves as a warning to all politicians that their actions will be scrutinized, and they will be held responsible for their choices, no matter how high their position may be. The outcome of this trial could very well change the way the public views politicians in the future. It could either reaffirm our faith in the legal system and the ability of truth to prevail, or it could make people even more cynical about the political system. Regardless of the outcome, the lessons here are clear. Truth matters, integrity is essential, and accountability is key. These are the values that should guide not only politicians, but all of us, in both our personal and professional lives. The courtroom drama may have reached its final act, but the story of AOC is far from over. The charges, the trial, and the public scrutiny have all made headlines. But what happens next is the real question. Can AOC recover from these new charges? Or will this mark the end of her political career? We've seen public figures rise and fall, and sometimes they bounce back stronger than ever. But in AOC's case, the path forward is uncertain. She has faced immense challenges before, but this is different. The consequences of this case could change everything. The ball is now in her court, and the world is watching to see how she handles the aftermath. Will she fight back with the same determination and charisma that brought her to the political stage in the first place? Or will the weight of these charges be too much for her to overcome? It's a question that only time will answer. One thing is certain, this is not the end of the story. The impact of this case will echo through the political landscape for a long time, and how AOC responds could shape her future for years to come. Now I want to hear from you. What do you think? Will AOC be able to turn things around? Or is this the beginning of the end? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's talk about the potential outcomes and what you think the future holds for her. Do you believe in second chances in politics? Or is this a case where the damage is too great? Share your thoughts. And don't forget to like and share this video if you want to stay updated on what happens next in this dramatic saga.